Seches Brachos daf mem zayin. The Gemara goes to explain the Mishnah that says you can be mezamin on Dmai, and the Gemara is Dmai. It's not chosile; it's also to eat Dmai. The Gemara says since iboy mafkud lechosei v'ava oni v'chosile and yimachil nesanayim Dmai, so therefore you can be mezamin on it. Rashi says the Gemara's kasha is that it's a mitzvah of aveira. The Mefarshim asks very strongly, what's the Gemara's teretz? How the Gemara answer the question? If the kasha is that's not chazilais, therefore you can't make a bracha das Rambam, you can't be mizamin l'shitas harayvid, that you could make a bracha, you just halach and zimun, but hamiyas l'mais it's still aser. So what's the gain in the fact that you could be mafkin echasi v'hava oni v'chazilai? So according to the Ravid, since it has potential, it's easier to mizamin, but according to the Rambam, it's even more shver. So the Rosh Yosef writes, and since there is a possibility that you could eat it by Ofen HaMotor, so therefore that's not considered a mitzvah of Aveira l'das HaRambam. There's a pshat from the Briskerov that says that the heritage of the Gemara is that since it's Demai and Chozil Aniyim, so that's a raya that Demai is only a Isser Gavra, not a Isser Cheftza, and he brings a raya from the Mishnah in Demai that Shor Menochis are potter from Demai, and it's not considered, it doesn't have a chesaron of Minamuta Beficha. That means normally a korban that can't be brought from something that's also it's a chesaron Muta Beficha. However, since Demai doesn't have that chesaron, so you see that it's only Issa Gavra, not Issa Cheftza. There's no din on the Cheftza that's also. So therefore, that's the pshat in the Gemara over here, that it's not a chesaron, that's a Rambam, to make a bracha on Demai. And the Bishkov explains that the Gemara Shagvatari is that although it's not a problem inside the bracha, but the Gemara having a Shagvatari that maybe a chesaron and zimun, it is because the Maisa, the Gavra can't be nana from it. Another explanation you could say from Reb David Soloveitchik in Tamura that says that the Issa Demai is not even Issa Gavra, it's just a Chayvus Afrosha, so it makes it even easier to understand why it's not a problem with Asa Rambam to make a bracha on Demai because it's no Issa. Well, it's Tzarech Ian, L'Shidim B'Halachah B'Skarov, it's Tzarech Ian, it's a Mavur in the Rishonim, in the Mishnah, the Shidim Betzes is clearly with Asa Rambam that you can't make a bracha on something that's also. He says even an Issa D'Rabbanan you can't make. Only if it's mutter to be over the Issa D'Rabbanan, but Issa D'Rabbanan you cannot make a bracha on. And so Yudua, the Shittas and the Sivis is that Issa D'Rabbanan to Issa Gavra, there's no Issa B'Shoigig, and B'Chanan and B'Chaim explained, the Kavanah of the Sivis is, that's only Issa Gavra. And Afal Pikein, the Rishonim are saying that it is a problem, that's a Rambam, and you cannot make a bracha on that. You see even Issa Gavra, you can't make a bracha, l'das Rambam. Unless you say that the Yitzchak and others say that when it's Ikri Midaraisa, when it's Issa D'Rabbanan, it's Ikri Midaraisa, even the Sivas agrees that it's considered Issa Cheftza, and then it'll be Miyushiv. Maram Beis says there's a story of Belezer went to the Beis Knesses and didn't find a minyan, so he's Meshachas Eved Lashnim L'Asara. The Gemara asks, it's an Isser to Meshachas Avdoi. The Gemara says L'Ar Mitzvah. The Gemara says it's Mitzvah Aveira. The Gemara says Mitzvah D'Rab Mishani. So on this Gemara, there's a number of tremendous discussions discussed by the Mefarshim. First of all, you see the Chassam Sofer points out, you see from this Gemara that there's a Chi of Gomer L'Spalel with a minyan, and that's why he was Meshachas Eved, and Tzarech the Mahalach, the Emek Bracha, that writes that there's no Chi of L'Spalel with a minyan. So you have to say, according to him, that's not talking about, maybe it's Pasha Zachar, which the Rosh discusses. Another big discussion, the Stipler writes over here that the Gemara says mitzvah aveira doesn't mean a real mitzvah aveira. It can't be a regular mitzvah aveira that the mitzvah is possible because it was done through aveira, because it wasn't at the same time. And he says fakir, it was only an assay, it wasn't a leis assay. The Gemara just means it's not kedai. What are you gaining? There's a issa on the other side. So what are you gaining by doing the assay? And according to the Stipler, it's more miyushav save Ardar Amon and Es. The L'chayra on Issa D'Rabbanan, you don't see mitzvah aveira. So according to Stiples, Miyoshev Heitiv, the Gemara doesn't mean the regular halacha of mitzvah haba b'aveira. And that's some sugyas haGemara that you find that Yadeicha, because of Asay the Rabbim, Yadeicha the Issa the Raisa of the Olam V'hem Tavoidu, the Rishonim Matmiya. How could it be such a thing? How could it be Deicha and Asay mipnei Asay? So the Ran in Gittin and the Ritva say that it's not Asay Gemura Olam V'hem Tavoidu. Then he says another teretz, the Yesh Mefarshim, that the is only to give a matnas chinam, and b'chaygani doing a tzarech mitzvah, it's not a isla matnas chinam b'chlal. The Chayim ask if that's the case, what's more kasha mitzvah aveira if it's not an issa b'chlal. The Rosh over here sounds like it's a real d'chiyah, that he says it's a mitzvah d'oraisa of nikdashti b'seich b'nei Yisrael, and even if you say that's not a mitzvah d'oraisa of nikdashti b'nei Yisrael, it's a d'rabanan, and a mitzvah d'rabanan can be deicha the essay of l'olam b'm tavoidu. And he says it's a deichik to say it's talking about Parsha Zohar, because Parsha Zohar, it's mashma every day of the year, not specifically Parshas Zohar. It's a little bit according to Reb Chaim says that there's a kiyum mitzvah deraisa. So there's a kiyum mitzvah deraisa, so it's the mashma in the Rosh that he was entertaining that there's no mitzvah deraisa by tefillah. According to Reb Chaim, there is a kiyum of deraisa. Maybe the Reb Chaim just means that hefker of a tefillah, not a mitzvah tefillah, or maybe the Rosh is discussing a chiyuv. The Chinuch explains this Gemara, that the Gemara understands the reason why you deicha the Yisrael Tavoidu because of the mitzvah of tefillah is because the nekuda of the mitzvah of Yom Tavoidu is that Klal Yisrael should have avodim b'misharis, so therefore we'll be able to focus on serving Hashem, and we shouldn't have to come out to be mishtamish with other of Klal Yisrael and take them away from their serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So since the main focus of the mitzvah is to have avodas Hashem, so if you're doing it tzorich a mitzvah, so Rabbanan understood that there could be deicha this asay because of the mitzvah. Because since the whole purpose of this mitzvah is to broaden avdas Hashem v'ayin sham. There's one that could discuss in the Achroinim that if it's a real tchi over here, it's not the same time. It's not be'idna. You're being deicha the essay of Yom Tavodah before the mitzvah's tefillah. So there's a halachot over here, according to the Shur Talmud in Yevamis, explains that Tosfos says in Zvachim that as a loisish requires deicha loisizei v'asei, and it doesn't need be'idna. And he explains the reason why it doesn't need be'idna. Why is it different than regular essay deicha loisizei? He says there's two different gedorim in Esdei Chaloisasei. Usually Esdei Chaloisasei is mitzad the hefker. The Esei is deicha the loisasei. Even though loisasei is more chomer, the din mitzad the hefker of the mitzvah is deicha the lav. Mashenkin, if you have a case when you have a loisasei shekaris against a lav asei, since the loisasei shekaris is more chomer, so the gavri mitzad atzmo is obligated to do the greater one. So that type of tchiyah, that the gavri mitzad atzmo is obligated to do the stronger one, that's not the regular din tchiyah. It has alimas, it's chal and the garva chiyav to do the stronger one. So it's not being madcha the lav mitzad the hefzer b'chai gavna. You don't have to be be'idna. So according to him, it will be the same thing over here. If the essay is stronger than the other essay, so therefore even without be'idna, it could push away the essay of olam behem tavoidu. Further in the Gemara discusses the halacha that a cotton can mitzdaref for zimun. The Gemara says cotton pereach, cotton yedeya l'mi mezamnin alav. On this Gemara, the Emek Brachos has an interesting yesodis to Chakira. If the cotton hayedeya l'mi mvarchim has to answer the zimun, and he explains that there's two separate dinim in the mitzvah zimun. He builds it from the Gemara before that Memhei Beis. The Gemara says that Echad, one person, if he's in the middle of eating, he has to mafsik for shnayim, and the Rashba writes that in mafsik, and there you make a zimun, even if the third one doesn't even answer the yoytze the chayva zimun. So you see, you could be yoytze chayva zimun without three people answering, as long as they are in the room together. And he says, but there's another halacha that was yoytze b'shuk, then you could call him and he has to answer. So he says over there, it's a totally different halacha. That if they would call him and he wouldn't answer, it wouldn't be good. That's a separate second halacha, that there's deus in the bracha. If there's deus in the bracha, it's a wholly second halacha in Hilcha Zimun. And that's, he says, you find that by Noshim. Noshim kibizamin, even though their tziruf doesn't have a din tziruf, even Mei Noshim, but Aval Pikein, it's deus. There's deus in the bracha. That's a second halacha in Hilcha Zimun. So he wants to know what's the halach over here by Kotna Yedeya L'mimazamna Love. Does it work only because of Deus? If it works as Deus, that means then the cotton will have to answer. And if he doesn't answer, not Yotzes the mitzvah Zimun, or there's a Yotze with Tzadet Tzirif, the first din Zimun. So therefore, even if he doesn't answer, it will be Chal and be Yotze the mitzvah Zimun va'ayin sham oid bezeh.